All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard the Mitt Romney soundbite there that it's always something with the Clintons acting badly, whatever you want to call it. And it is. And it really is. But our next guest, Ramesh Ponnuru of the Bloomberg View and National Review and American Enterprise Institute, says that, hey, with tongue in cheek, it's the media's fault. They just can't leave the Clintons alone. Let's watch this John Boehner clip first.
Let me reiterate that the American people deserve all the facts about what happened in Benghazi. That's why it's so important for Secretary Clinton to turn over her personal server to a neutral third party. I think this is the fairest way to make sure that we have all the documents that belong to the public and ultimately all the facts.
There they go picking on the poor Clintons again. Enough already, right? How dare they? Joining us now is Ramesh Ponnuru, columnist, Bloomberg View, senior editor for National Review and American Enterprise Institute scholar. Ramesh, you wrote a great piece at BloombergView.com. Clintonworld's self-pitying shadiness returns. And every time anybody brings up something the Clintons are doing or have done, it's, they're just picking on the poor Clintons.
That's right. Thank you. The pattern has really gone on for decades now because the Clintons have been in American life and American political life for so long, and they always use the same excuse.
Yeah, and you point out that James Carville brought up just about in one sentence almost every scandal. He said, "Do you remember Whitewater? Do you remember Filegate? Do you remember Travelgate? Do you remember Pardongate? Do you remember Benghazi?" And all the stuff that we go through as if these are made up. There's nothing to them. And I love when they talk about Ken Starr and how and Whitewater and nothing happened. How many people went to jail and how many people were indicted? I mean, for crying out loud, yes, stuff happened.
Right. I mean, a sitting governor of Arkansas went to jail over Whitewater, for example. And, I think that this is not a strategy on Carville's part that is going to have the intended effect because, part of the selling point of Hillary Clinton is supposed to be you elect her and somehow magically we return to the peace and prosperity of the 1990s. But what I think that this scandal and the way Carville's talking about it reminds people, that's not all we get back. In fact, we are much more likely to get back the Clinton scandals and the endless Clinton excuses about them.
Right, and as you write, that the Clintons frequently engage in unethical behavior, and that this pattern stimulates both true and false accusations. But it is this unethical behavior. Maybe in the case of these emails, illegal behavior, as we yet to find out. Certainly illegal behavior when Bill Clinton committed perjury and was impeached and then disbarred as a lawyer. So it's not only unethical, it's been illegal on the part of Bill.
And you got to wonder whether Democrats are really eager to sign up for another tour of duty on Clinton defense. Because I think one other thing that's happened this last 2 weeks is that a lot of Democrats are remembering, wait, that is what the next 2 to 10 years of our lives are going to essentially be about.
Yeah, I certainly think we would like to avoid that. So where do you think she does stand? I mean, every poll indicates, even I think a Reuters poll today, which indicates she's dropped 15%, in the past couple of weeks. Still in all, she's head and shoulders above any other possible Democratic presidential candidate that would challenge her in a primary.
That's right. She's still in a very strong position to win the Democratic nomination. At the moment, it looks like that will be essentially uncontested. And then, she could very well win the general election. But I think she has taken some pretty hard hits here to her credibility, to her reputation for honesty, and to a reputation among Democrats as somebody who is actually a political pro, because she has not handled it well either.
Right. So because she gets it gets under her skin, and you could tell, if we have a Republican candidate opposite her, if she is the nominee, as the nominee on the Republican side, who is unafraid, who will tell it like it is, and will go after her as if she were, I hate to say, a man, because they're not going to be afraid to say, you can't say that to a woman, and just say, how could you do that? That's unethical. That's it. And really expose her. Do you think that will work?
It won't work by itself. But if you couple that with a positive and attractive agenda that makes people say, I like what the Republicans are selling, and this other brand seems old and stale, then I think it could well work.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, Ramesh Ponnuru, thank you very much, Ramesh. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, folks, we're coming back. I want you to stay right where you are. Online editor for the Weekly Standard will join us, Daniel Halper, and we have a lot to talk about with him, and it's all straight ahead right here on the Steve Malzberg Show, only on Newsmax Television. Don't go away.